What's up, everybody? This is Masaki coming to you live from the Sin Alliance on State 483, and today we're going to talk about trap. So the Sin Alliance is about to go into our trap for today, and I'm going to show you how I prepare it, how I get all my rally leaders prepared, and how I get my rally joiners prepared. So the first thing we want to talk about is setting up your troop formations. This is super important, especially if you're a rally leader. What I normally do is I have a and a B team, right? So because I only have two formations, what I do is I click occupy on any random spot. I first set up my A team, which is going to be usually my Eva as lead. It really doesn't matter since I'm a rally leader, but if you're a rally joiner, make sure you're using Eva or Sarge as your captain, okay? Followed by Ash, since Ash now has the highest infantry stats. And then just followed by, usually I'll use Maddie or I'll use Travis for this case. Let's use Maddie for this A team. Okay, for formation here, don't use any actual infantry here. Because you have Maddie in this team, you actually want to go a little heavier on your riders, right? So maybe about 65-70% of riders, and then the rest onto your hunters, right? So then I'll save this as my A team, and then I'll march them out. The reason you want to march them out is so that they're no longer taking space. Okay, now let's set up our B team. B team obviously is going to have set up with Sarge as lead. Again, doesn't matter if you're the rally leader, but since the B team will be joining other people's rally, I will be using that. Now here's a really interesting point to take, right? Notice how even though Chef is your recommended hero, he actually has worse stats, look at the infantry, than Nicola. So actually use Nicola for your B team, along with, if you look at what's going on with Travis and Jane, you'll notice that Jane has a little bit more troop infected health. This stat really doesn't really matter too much for Trap, so I usually just go with Travis for the extra lethality, okay? All right, so then let's make our B team. Again, this team has Sarge, so I usually go heavier on the hunters because his hunter stats are better than Travis's rider stats, and then go a little light on the rider like this, okay? Set as team 2, march that out, okay? So now you have both teams marched out. What I usually do is I just kind of march out a couple more teams. Again, the whole idea is I want to kind of empty my top tier troops, right? Get to the point where all I have are lower tier troops right about now. Then I go back to my base, and you'll notice that because my top tier troops are out, there's really just Mauler. So it's an easy way to make sure your lower tier troops don't join trap. Quick select, which selects all of them. Hide your Maulers, which is just one, and then hide them for 1 hour. They're going to come out of the hiding within an hour, so it's easy for you, okay? One thing to cover for trap, if you're a rally leader, make sure you're using Massive March. I screwed up today, and I actually clicked it way too early for a different fight, so I don't have that for this fight. Again, another thing for trap, obviously make sure your troops are healed. We were fighting for Alliance Center earlier, so some of our troops are still not healing. But again, what's important for trap are going to be your hunters and your riders. Don't worry too much about the infantry, as while they do damage, they don't do a lot of damage. Okay, so now recall your troops back. Just make sure that your marches look correct. So I'm going to double check them. So occupy, right? Here's my A team. Here's my B team. Okay, looks pretty good, right? Everything's good. Okay, so now once trap starts, there is a little trick that's currently true with trap. If you have a rally onto the trap, and you can actually join 5 other rallies as well, which means that technically, even though I have a limitation of 5 maximum marches, I can actually march 6 times, right? For most people, this won't matter at all because you don't have enough troops to march, for example, 750k troops, right? I don't have nearly that many. So if you look at my army, I only have 500 or so, right? But once you get to that high number of troops, it does help because it gives you another extra march. The way to do this is make sure, and I'll show you in the clip later on, but make sure that when you're joining you first start a rally, and then you can actually join other people's rally while you're still rallying. The moment you start marching, though, it will no longer allow you to join other rallies. And you do want to start by setting up a rally, not throughout the whole course, okay? But otherwise, we're about to start trap. Now, starting trap is pretty straightforward. Most people already know this, but I'll just kind of cover it. You click open, and then you click whichever tier you're going to do. So today we're going to do level 23, and that's this one here. I won't open it yet because we have to start organizing soon. Okay, so again, that's mostly for trap. Again, quick hints. Make sure you set up your armies, your 2 teams. Make sure those teams have Eva or Sarge as lead because that adds extra damage. If you don't know what that means, watch my rally leader video or watch my PvP video on hero skills. And the other part of it, just for us, for Trapwise, we do have set up like 13 or so rally leads because at level 23 and higher, you're going to be full marching trap and you still won't be able to defeat it. So you do want to make sure you have high rally leads that have the highest capacity, right? So obviously your highest HQ level usually, as those people will be able to fit more people inside their actual rallies. One other tip I just want to share with everyone is that you do want to spread out your trap rally leaders. As you can see what Spartan's doing today, he's setting up so that everybody has different start times. So I'm going at 4 minutes. What that means is usually when the rally clock here goes to 4 minutes, that's when I launch my rally. I don't launch my rally at the beginning, right? Something you should be aware of. Again, in general, that's how we run rallies here, and it's just a lot easier this way. One quick note I do want to add for the location of trap, just some high level comments and suggestions. The first thing is you want to set up a tower system like this. So you want to put 1 tower here, right, covering that much, and then 1 like here. Find a piece of space inside your alliance that's fairly empty, and then do set up the trap this way with towers like this. So if you can set up trap like this, then you're going to have maximum space. What this allows you to do is you can have 8 people around the trap. These are going to be your rally leaders, and you have 3 people behind each of those 8, right? So that makes another 9 that can be rally leaders. So you can set up like 17 rally leaders if you set up this formation. Again, it takes a lot of coordination with your alliance, telling people don't do this. Like, this is a bad setup here, because technically they could save 1 space if each person moves to the side once, but something to think about. But that's it for today's video. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. But as always, this is Masaki of the Sin Lions. You stay classy, 483.